Welcome to Module 6. In this module, you will learn about different driving conditions and some possible system failures. Driving conditions. Driving in fog is dangerous because fog severely limits visibility. If you must drive in fog, take the following precautions. Turn off cruise control if it's in use. You need to be in complete control of the car. Use your turn signal and your brakes much earlier than you would on a day with regular visibility. This will help make other drivers aware of what you are doing. Use fog lights if you have them. If not, use low beams only. High beams will bounce off the fog and further reduce visibility. Do not overdrive your headlights. This means do not drive at a speed that would make it impossible to come to a stop within the range of your headlights. If the fog is too dense to drive faster than 10 miles an hour safely, pull off the road and wait for the fog to dissipate. Rain can be dangerous to drive in because it severely limits the driver's visibility. It makes the road slippery. And it can result in hydroplaning, which is when the tires ride up on a thin film of water and lose all contact with the pavement. Illinois law requires that if you must turn on your windshield wipers, you must turn your headlights on. You should never use cruise control in the rain. It's important that you are in complete control of the car. Use your turn signal and your brake lights much earlier than you would on a day with regular visibility. This ensures that other drivers can see what you are doing. Don't overdrive your headlights. This means don't drive at a speed that would make it impossible to come to a stop within the range of your headlights. If driving faster than 10 miles an hour safely is impossible, pull off the road and wait for the storm to die down. If you hydroplane, take your foot off the accelerator, but don't push the brake pedal. Simply hold the steering wheel firmly without turning it and wait until the car regains contact with the road. Once your tires are on the pavement again, you can gently brake by pressing the brake pedal lightly several times. Speed is a major factor in hydroplaning. Keeping your top speed below 25 miles an hour is an excellent safeguard against hydroplaning. When driving in the rain, drive more slowly than you normally would. Illinois law requires that if you must turn your windshield wipers on, you must turn your headlights on. When braking, do so in slow, steady strokes to avoid slamming on the brakes, as that can cause the wheels to lock, putting the car into a skid. Begin braking earlier than you normally would, as you will have a longer stopping distance than you would on regular pavement. You should never use cruise control in the snow. It's important that you are in complete control of the car. If you are driving when there is already snow on the ground, try to drive in the tire tracks of the driver in front of you. The weight of their car will have packed the more slippery fresh snow down, which will allow your tires to gain traction. Be extra cautious when driving across bridges or overpasses, as they may have been frozen even after the road is thawed.
When driving on snow or wet roads, reduce your speed so that you'll have better car control and shorter stopping distances. Did you know? Black ice is a thin layer of ice on a paved road that is very difficult to see. It's called black ice because it's so clear drivers can see the road underneath. When the temperature is below freezing and the road looks wet, be alert for black ice. Be especially alert for black ice on bridges and overpasses since these road surfaces tend to freeze first.
Illinois law requires that your headlights must be on from dusk until dawn. This makes your car much more visible to other drivers. Only use your high beams or brights in rural areas, never in a city, as high beams can temporarily blind oncoming drivers. If you are driving in a rural area and you see headlights approaching from someone traveling in the opposite direction, you have to switch to regular headlights 500 feet before meeting them. In a case where you have your brights on and you're coming up behind another driver, you must switch your brights to standard headlights 300 feet before overtaking them. If you skid, take your foot off the accelerator. Hold onto the steering wheel tight. Turn the steering wheel towards the direction of the skid and let your vehicle slow down. Do not brake. If you are in a fishtail skid, meaning the back end of the car is swinging to one side, you should take your foot off the accelerator, hold the wheel firmly, and steer into the direction of the skid. In other words, line your wheels up with the front end of the car. Once you regain control, carefully steer back onto the road. System failures. If you drive off the road and onto the shoulder, simply grasp the steering wheel firmly, ease your foot off the accelerator, and brake gently. Once you have checked for any traffic, steer steadily back onto the road. Don't jerk the wheel sharply toward the road, as this may cause you to drive into oncoming traffic. If you hear a repeating thumping sound, or if your car suddenly veers sharply to one side, you may have experienced a blowout or flat tire. If this happens, take your foot off the accelerator, hold on to the steering wheel tight, and allow the car to slow down on its own while you navigate to safety. If your brake pedal suddenly sinks to the floor, try pumping it to build pressure back up. If that doesn't work, use your emergency brake to slow the vehicle. If you are driving a stick shift, shift the vehicle into a lower gear. That would be all for Module 6. Quiz optional. Test your understanding by clicking and answering the questions below. Module 6 complete. Please click on Mark as Completed button to finalize and proceed to the final examination by clicking Next Lesson. Illinois WE Final Exam.